All right, what is up? Welcome to the Spoiler Kings. I am Tank Kramer with Brian the Grizzly, and we're going to talk about Agatha All Along, episode 8 and 9, the finale, and then we'll get into the kind of the whole show too a little bit. But yeah, it is officially over. 9 episodes in, we get the whole season done. What you think about it, Brian? Episode 8 and 9.
It's probably my second favorite finale
Ooh,
of
yeah.
the Disney Plus shows. I thought that 8 finished the story that was going on. 9 gave us all the stuff that we missed in between. I liked what they did with all the characters. I love what they did with Wiccan. Billy was end up being really good. The idea that she had never been on the road was just brilliant, and the way they did that was brilliant. And Aubrey Plaza as Death was cool. I will say, like, some of the sets were obviously cheap, right? And then they played into it with her taking her knife and splitting the screen and
I
diving
love
in
that.
between it. That was
I
so
loved it.
funny. Like, you don't need to have a special effects. You can just do regular stuff. Like, and I thought that was really smart, really
Yeah.
cool overall. And
But then it all makes sense in the end with the road being what it was too. You're like, oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah, but that's
Yeah.
not why it did it. But yeah, it
Well,
was
that's
because
not why, but yeah. Yeah.
But overall, I really enjoyed that. And 9 was so emotional for anyone who has kids that
Mhm.
understands the idea of growing up and watching them grow and loving and falling in love with your child. Like, you're literally, that's what it is. It's mini you, and you're watching them grow and losing them and being taken away. Even if you knew, you'll never be the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
They stuck the landing.
Yeah. 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 That's what he's saying. They were able to stick the landing. And that was the big thing I think for me for it was everything was great so far. The episode 7 was great. And I'm like, how is it gonna end? And Disney Plus in general with all their shows kind of never really sticks the
Whoa.
landing for not all the time,
Loki,
most of the time. Loki stick the landing.
always.
Yeah,
Loki 2 and 1.
yeah. That one
Morbius
had
died. I was crying. Come on.
yeah. So I mean, even Captain Winter Soldier, Captain American Winter Soldier, or Falcon Winter Soldier.
Mhm.
I thought that had a good ending,
It had
fitting
a
ending
good
for the show.
story, and
You
it
know,
showed, yeah, hey,
yeah.
and
So but it's like they can do it. It's just how well it's going to get done. Yeah, I thought the ending was almost perfect. Perfect for the character and the story they were telling 100%. It was just so, like, I was glued to my TV for the hour and a half or whatever it was between the 2 episodes. And that, like I said, episode 9, when you get into the backstory of Agatha and her son and everything with there, and man, even the song, even they're like, you know what, we are gonna give you with the song and how the song, what it means and stuff like that. So I was like, man, just everything they did was just so great. And it ties into other parts of the show early on. Like, now you're able to go back and watch, like, oh yeah, she did act like that, and she did say this, and this person did do that. And it's like all ties in together, and you're like, holy shit, that's done so well. It's just that the showrunners and the writers, like, cared, and they wanted to tell a good story, and they did, like, a really good story. Because I thought the ending was really well done, with where it could lead to. You know what I mean? They did right by the comic books, I think. You know what I mean? The only thing they replaced Wanda with Billy, because in the comic books, it's Wanda that is the student to the ghost Agatha.
Mhm.
They just replace, with Billy, which is fine. But I like it too, because, like, it goes down to wherever it leads to next. You can literally go two ways with Agatha. Agatha can continue to be maybe a person that's redeeming herself, or she's using Billy to find a way to like come back to life. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you're the strongest dude in the universe ish right now. You're the strongest witch around right now. I'm gonna stick around you for a while, and see if I can get what I want from you. So like, but you can go either way, and I'm cool with it, or she can maybe like even tote the line, because she did that a lot in this season, where like she's a bad guy, but you saw her compassion and her like heart, especially in episode 9, in her, so I thought the ending was really interesting with what they are setting up, and then obviously they're doing Children's Crusade. They're setting that up, and they're kind of setting up not WandaVision, Vision Quest.
No,
Like
they
I
definitely
wonder.
fixed Vision Quest, yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
the Tommy is going to be a big thing about the Vision Quest.
that's what
So
I think too. That's what
yeah,
I
that
think
was a
too.
huge setup.
Yeah, that's
And
what I
then
think
he
too.
even said that Tommy's going to a bad home where people don't love him and all those things, and you have to go out to find him. It's a quest, right?
Mm,
I'm just saying. I think that we've got the kind of the basis of what Vision Quest is about. And
yeah.
I love Wanda in herself too. So I think that it's going to mix with that. I thought that it was going to be. I still look at it as more of a very standalone TV show. But I thought it
Hmm.
was going to be just totally stupid. And I think the actors and actresses did a great job of bringing it to life. And some of those characters will continue to go on. So,
Hmm.
I don't think it's pointless.
Because now Billy is feeling guilty that he killed these people,
He
and
did.
here's Agatha is like, Alice is more on me, like, don't worry, but
But I mean, she was like, I killed most of them actually. What you talking about?
and she was like, Lily. He goes, I killed Lily. It was Lily, but she's like, but she's trying to like help her. She goes, yeah, but she chose that. You know what I mean? But also, like, I get what, but like he killed Lily. He killed what's Mrs. Hart real name? Um, I forgot what her real name was in the
Now
show.
we're like Agatha. What's her name?
I
Who?
know, like, who exactly? But she said like, oh, and blah blah blah, and Mrs. Hart, and she's like, who again? And I was like, I love that's just a running joke that Agatha just literally got her because she was the closest person to be, like, oh, here's the other person we need, because now you find out it don't matter. Like it didn't matter if like she had all the witches. She just needed some of them to trick so she can drain them. You know what I
And
mean?
that's
So
all she's
like
did for centuries. That's
I
all
was
she
like,
did.
oh man, yeah. So like ultimately, she is like the only reason she went to go get Mrs. Hart is because Lily is like, oh, but we need the Green Witch, and she's like, fine, here's this chick, like I don't care, just give me your power. It was like it was like, it
But then now you
all. That's why
understand why
you
she
tie it back in.
changed when you saw Aubrey Plaza death
Yes,
come in, the original
yeah,
Green Witch, the original,
she didn't
you
like
know,
that.
that's
She didn't
why
like
she
that
was like, oh wow. And then she's talking about the bodies.
in episode 9 when it first starts and she's giving birth, and Rio shows up and Catherine Hahn like is just crying like don't do it, don't do it. I was like, and then how just cold, not cold blooded, but just calm and like, yeah, this is life, man. She's like, but yet she loved Agatha enough. She goes, I can give you time. So I was like, oh, like what's worse? You know what I mean? Like,
No, there's nothing better. Because you can be obsessed with what you want, but I think that's something that she's going to come to reality and understanding.
yeah,
There's nothing better than having that love, no matter what. What is
yeah,
that word? It's better
yeah.
than love than
Even
lost, never loved at
yeah,
all. You
yeah,
just never
exactly.
know about it until
Because
you
it was
actually
like
have it.
7 years, 6 years, something like that.
It looks like he could have been
Well,
up
they
to
they
8, 9
no, they
years.
said it. They said like 6 years later or something like that, and then he's
But he was still they're still going through all the stuff, and they had
yeah,
more adventures and going through more towns and stuff. So
yeah,
he could have been up to 7 or 8 years old.
yeah, doing it. Yeah, I just feel so sad. Even the way they do it at the end, I thought that was well done because I'm like, oh, they're not gonna like kill this kid, because I'm like, even for Disney, I was like, damn man, But I thought the way they did it, where like just the soul left, and then the way Agatha woke up with just the body, I was like, oh,
No, no,
oh
no.
God,
But death told him to go back and kiss his mother.
oh jeez,
That's
Well,
key. That's huge.
yeah.
And
Yeah, I'm gonna
that's
fucking
so Death
cry
has to
right now.
do their
That's
job, her job, right?
mhm.
But she still did that. I think that was huge in this episode. That little thing went a long way for me really feeling
Yeah,
it, understanding.
yeah. Because then it also proves, like, that real death, like, "Listen, I gotta do my job." You know, it's the natural order of things, but I love you, and I understand what he means to you, so he's gonna give you one last, like, kiss goodbye, and it was just like, bro, it's like that's what got me, man.
Mhm.
They got me. I know, like, I over my girlfriend was crying. It was man. It was,
It's
and
the
she wakes
little
up and she's
things,
just so
like
like,
her
oh
staring when she was talking in there, laying on the ground, they're staring into each other's eyes, and obviously the only person in this world that mattered to me
yeah,
is
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah. Because otherwise, she's killing everybody,
But
like
you also saw him
left
getting
and right.
sicker. And when
Yeah,
this didn't come out of nowhere, you saw him getting sicker and sicker. So they did
yeah,
really, really good job throughout
yeah,
the episode.
yeah,
But the joy of that little boy, and then the joy of her having her son, knowing what was coming, and then her finally erupting and saying, "I can't believe it." He has no idea what's going on, but
yeah.
you know, it was really, really done well for me. Death was coming off like a jealous ex. She literally said,
Oh,
"Why don't you want me?"
yeah, yeah, yeah. Which is like so like interesting because even if you tie it back to the comic book, like I feel like wasn't that like her and Deadpool?
Or
You
Deadpool.
know,
Or
like she had this weird obsession with Deadpool. Like which is interesting because again, a character who well, Deadpool can't die.
yeah,
But Agatha has been living for hundreds of years at this point. And it's just it's like, why don't you want me? Why don't you want to die? That's it's like just like everything. Like it's just like it's just like cool things like that, man. And she was so awesome, man. Like even at the end, when she like looked over to Billy and said like leave or
you can
whatever,
go.
and it was just like the
Yeah.
skull head kind of face. Yeah.
Well, what's really interesting is that Wiccan does become so powerful that Death would have a problem with him.
Hmm.
Right now, he's
Hmm.
just a kid and doesn't understand his how drastic his he can do things, how he could change the very fabric of everything, the fiber of everything, like the
Hmm.
fabric of life can change because he thinks something. So he doesn't understand how to control that. Once he does, it makes Death almost hard to find him.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's why she said, like, I have him here because if he dies, then
Yeah,
his
he
soul
goes,
is just gonna go somewhere else. So I need to keep an eye on him here, and then also he's gonna help me find the other one, Tommy, that has the same problem. Is Billy only able to manipulate his soul and Tommy's soul, or can he do it to other people? 'Cause I think it's only them two because they're twins and they're part of this like
connection and everything.
connection with Agatha, or not Agatha, with Wanda. So I think it's only them two.
Souls, I think that yeah, it's probably only them two. But you have to remember that he is Wanda's child, and he's actually in a lot of ways more powerful than she is.
Mm,
And
mhm.
when he creates, he's not as frankly he's not Franklin Richards, but he could
Yeah.
create reality. He could bend reality to fit his whims. So he can't do it your soul. I don't think that's the one something he's going to be speaking to souls and pulling out bodies but if he might be able to connect with another person if it was out there,
Mm.
possibly.
Yeah,
But
like
no, I
another
don't
like
think.
lost soul kind
Yeah, a
of thing,
little lost
maybe.
soul. But he's
Like
not going to pull it out of a body. He's not going to put it into a living body. He's not going to be able to do those things. But he can manipulate how time and space is being perceived.
like reality. Yeah. Final thoughts on the last two episodes.
I mean,
What do you think?
if I'm you talking about this as a series, they did a great job. I can't believe I could rank it 4 for me for
Mhm.
from a thing that I didn't even want to see. That I was going to put it in the same realm as Echo. Like, forget it. I don't ever want to see this. I want to talk about Secret Invasion. I don't want to talk about Agatha. I don't want to talk about that was in that box. And it jumped out of that box and got to the 4th ranked MCU TV show. So congrats. Great job with show writers, and I hope Marvel learned their lesson.
Mm.
Are going to continue to give us things that are interesting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think the biggest takeaway for me was like, you don't have to spend $1 bazillion to make a good movie. You find good writers who care about the characters, and practical effects are still good enough, for a TV show. Maybe not for a movie, but for a TV show, practical effects are more than good enough. You know, and you can make something that's fun, and kind of ties into things, in a loose kind of way. It's not going to directly tie into everything, but yeah, it just something that I was just like, okay, I like witchy stuff. I like Catherine Hahn. And then it became like, oh, this is turning into something really cool, and a lot of fun, so yeah, a lot of twists and turns and a lot of like good writing. Like episode 7,
7.
with that with Lily's trial, that was amazingly written.
Yeah,
Amazingly
Lilia
written.
was
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, yeah. So not many people can take time switching and warping back and forth and make it make sense and make it entertaining as well. I'm sure we'll probably talk more about it later when we start seeing it tying into other shows, stuff like that. But yeah, but we want to hear from you guys. Did you like it? Do you hate Agatha? What do you think about the last 2 episodes? What do you think about the show as a whole? Do you kind of like it like me and Brian, or you feel more like Ty, where you're just like it sucks? Leave a comment down below. We love the chit chat with you guys in the comments and stuff like that. But yeah, if you are watching on the replay, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Come and join us every Monday and Thursday where we are live, talk about TV shows, movies, comic book stuff, nerdy stuff. So we have a lot of fun. So we appreciate all you guys coming in, hanging out with us. And if you are live, stick around because we're gonna move on to our next topic.